Okay, so I have a couple makeup brushes to clean, and I'm just gonna see if I actually feel like talking in this, or I actually just want to be silent and end up deleting this. Now that I've been in rest mode today, I think I'm actually just having an obvious epiphany right now for why so many people choose to be busy, 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 busy all the time, because the dawning realization has just come crashing down on me that when I'm busy, I always want a rest day, because I know that my body and my mind need it, because I'm starting to burn out a little bit. And today I had a legitimate rest day where all I did was go grocery shopping, picked up Chipotle, came back, ate it, played on my phone, laid on the couch, and took a nap for 2 hours. And that was good. But the realization is that on these days that I have the rest days are when I start to overthink me and what my life is and what my life should or could be. So much of the time before I got home, finished eating and fell asleep, I was thinking about Trisha Paytas. And earlier in the day, I was watching Trisha Paytas's old videos of her old life, where she was living in her beach apartment, and she would just go and do not luxury hauls. She'd go shopping at Target, she'd shop online at Dallas Kill. She did shop some luxury, but that's not what the basis of those hauls were. And she was just kind of yapping and was being pretty lighthearted most of the time. And she'd go out to the mall with her mom and go out to dinner at places at the mall that were upper scale mall restaurants, like P.F. Chang's and Capital Grill and whatever. And she'd talk about her dates and her struggles with her dating life and dieting and all of that. And it just seems so fun, even though it was simple, and even though most of the time it was just her in the vlogs. But it just seemed like a simpler time. It seemed pretty lighthearted. She was entertaining just on her own. And I started to just get hard on myself, but why isn't your life like that? Your life is so not fun and luxurious in comparison. It would be great if you had a life like that. And I just feel like in comparison, none of my stuff is cute, and I need a better wardrobe, and I need a better place to live, and I need all of these things that I don't have. And these are the types of thoughts that you can have when you're just at rest, when you're not busy. And even she mentioned that when she was getting her breasts done and she was having some complications with that and a hard recovery, she really couldn't do anything for 3 months. And she talked about how depressed she was, because she's just the type of person that likes to do a lot of stuff. And it seems like people that like to do a lot of stuff are mental runners, so that they're not thinking about the stuff that they need to be working through. My body makes me take rest days. There are definitely periods of time where I'm very busy, but at least once a month, I need a day like this where I really just sleep and do next to nothing. I just sleep and eat. Which I guess is good because I can't put all this stuff on the back burner forever. But it does suck to sit there and think about and just be like, oh, am I a loser? Also, I just got so hot. I need to like take my pants off or something. This is too much. I'm cooking. Abort mission. I am cooking. Hold on. Please hold. Okay. Well, I opened the window in the living room. But yeah, it's such an obvious thing, and I have heard people say that before. Like, they stay so busy because they don't want to think about the things happening in their lives. Like, I knew that, but I didn't understand that until I realized that when I was having a rest day today, that up until I, like, anesthetized myself with the food and went to sleep, that's what I was thinking about. I was looking for comfort in Trisha's old videos. But then in looking at her old videos, I was like, why isn't my life like that? And I've also been feeling bummed about how I look today, because when you're online, and that is like, there's a hair on me, driving me crazy. That is the danger and the bullshit of online. When I go online, I feel like everything is wrong with how I look. I feel like my skin, even though I have nice skin, my skin doesn't look like the people online. And I don't know if you'll be able to graphically see. Can you see? I have significantly sized pores in here, my nose, my cheeks. They're big, and I have an oilier skin type, and that's just not what I see online. And then we all know that I am on a sustainable health journey. I have my Slimtember goal, where I'm trying to slim down to around 130 pounds because I know that that would be a good weight for me. And I just want to feel like a more finalized, refined, fit version of myself, because in my mind, that will allow me to walk through the doors of all of the things that I want to do. Like, I feel like the access to entry for the things that I want to do, the doors are too small. I'm too big for them. I don't look how I need to look to get through those doors. So if I refine myself and I take action and I do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, and I treat my body with respect, and I stop abusing food as a drug to anesthetize myself, and just, yeah, it really is that. I don't even think it's so much to feel good, although, yeah, I do get a happy hit of like dopamine when I eat the McDonald's fries and the Coke, because that's so nostalgic for me. Like, part of the reason why I've ever really struggled with my weight is because when I was very young and right around when I was in third grade going into fourth grade, my mom, really the only way that she would do something nice for me or spend time with me in a way where we were just chilling was she would take me to McDonald's. Like, that was my treat. And also, when I had my first unofficial job, I worked at a stable with my aunt, and I did that very young. I started going to the stable when I was like 6 years old, and I went from 6 to about 14 years old every Saturday at 9 a.m. And I would go and I would help take care of the horses. But my aunt, like, sometimes we'd get McDonald's breakfast before we went, or after, she'd get me McDonald's food. So I had these two people who were always giving me McDonald's because they knew that I loved it. Well, I ended up getting fat. And then I had to deal with being kind of fat. And I did, through puberty, end up slimming down again. Like, by the time I was in 6th grade and really started playing sports. And then I played sports and was busy from 6th grade till the end of high school with playing sports and doing extracurriculars and having school and working. I had a lot going on. And so I never was at a weight that I thought I should be at. But when I look back and I see myself, I was not fat. And I was beautiful. I really was. And so I do try to remember that now, because I know that 10 years from now, when I look back and I see these videos and I see pictures of myself, I'm going to think about the life that I had. And I'm going to be nostalgic about the early years of me working at Mac and having to do these events with, like, the bare minimum resources and all of the hustling that I did. I mean, I feel that way even about a few years ago when the jobs I was doing were just like, I was just doing all kinds of things. I was just making money because I needed money, and I was dating weird people, and I was just living a weird life. And I mean, life has kind of always been like that, right? Like, you're like, what the hell was I even doing? But there's a fondness for it because you remember this time when things were different in some type of way, and you kind of romanticize whatever that was, whether it was an amazing time or a struggle. Like, you romanticize any part of the past, really, but you're hard on yourself in the present moment. We all need to work on romanticizing the present moment. I need to romanticize the days of me being a stable, secure, single woman in my early 30s, really working hard in the beginning stages of her career and fine-tuning which directions I want to go in and making connections and turning into this person who hosts events and who brings people together and who really makes experiences that people get addicted to, like that they'll have nostalgia for because they were such great times. And living in this town that I love and that I've loved for different reasons over the years. Like, I won't always live in Berea, but I'm sure I'll always remember it as such an amazing time in my life. And I need to romanticize just being who I am right now, how I look right now. Just having days where I could rest and sleep on the couch and take a nap for 2 hours and wear my big Mac t-shirts and meal prep my food in the pursuit of my goal of September, and then like looking back and being like, I achieved that goal. Because even though I ate some McDonald's french fries and had some Cokes along the way and had these days of resting and eating and napping, I still achieved it because I still always had that vision in my mind of knowing who I was always meant to be and who I've always been and what is at the core of me as a person. And whether I was close to being there or it was always inside or whatever, just kind of understanding my own essence and always living in that and trusting the process. And if I wasn't all the way there, understanding that I would be. And if I wasn't quite there yet, that it was okay. Because that's also something really important to like romanticize and have so much love and fondness for the difficult parts of life. And I look back on all of the difficult parts of my life, and that's how you get like the victor story. Like, I overcame that. It was so hard. I didn't know if I would make it, but I did. I always did. I am still here. And with not too much damage on me either, not too many scars, not too many dents, I was able to navigate everything really intelligently and escape a lot of things and sidestep and pivot and remain relatively unscathed and relatively not bitter. And if I did become bitter about some things, I just took a step back. I was like, all right, let's regroup. Let's think about all of the beautiful things in life. Let's think about how even if those people hurt you, they can't anymore, so who fucking cares? Everything is fine. Worst case scenario, you just got a little bit smarter. So, actually, this has been, like, really good. I feel like I've been on such a journey, even just within this one day, where I knew that I needed to take a rest, and I went rummaging back through my past for things that gave me comfort. Old school Trisha Paytas that I watched 13 years ago. I watched Trisha Paytas for almost as long as she's been around. And when that made me feel some type of way, I went to my next drug that I knew wouldn't make me feel bad, or at least bad in the same way that looking at Trisha's old videos did, because then I actually ended up comparing myself. And I ate the fries and I ate the Coke. And I knew that that was not in service of my Slimtember goals, but that was how I was coping with the hard feelings that I was finally able to feel, because today I slowed down. Today I wasn't around anybody else. Today it was just me in my head, and that's what I ended up doing. And then I went to sleep. And I woke up from that rest, and I was like, all right, you are fed, you are rested, let's do some stuff. Let's actually use that restedness and those calories that you ate to prepare for the person that you really are now. Yeah, you had a heavy day of eating. You've had a few weird days, actually, in the last couple weeks. But you're gonna cook up your broccoli and your potatoes, and you're gonna have your oats prepared so that even if life gets crazy, and even though for this next 2 weeks, really, like after tomorrow, it's go time, because I'm gonna work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I'll be off, but I'll be at the airport. Thursday, MAC training, back on the plane. Then I'm finally off again on Friday, and then I'm at work Saturday, and then I'm at work on Sunday, and then things re-regulate. I needed this day, and I'm preparing for that sprint through the next week and a half that I'll also be on my period for. So you know what? This was very valuable, actually, and I'm glad that I set up the camera to really talk through it, because I didn't realize that. So hopefully me talking about this will resonate. I can't imagine that it wouldn't, because I feel like we all go through this. Now, of course, you're not going to be doing the same things as me. You don't have the same life. You have your life, whatever that entails. And different things probably bring you pleasure and comfort and are nostalgic for you. I doubt it's Trisha Paytas and McDonald's French fries, but who knows? But if you're scared of resting because you're scared of thinking, and you're scared of the memories, and you're scared of what that's going to make you feel, I get it. But you have to do it, because if you don't, you will burn yourself out. You cannot run forever. You can't. And it's better to have a rough day, and it might even only be a few hours. And then maybe you just eat something good and you take a nap and you wake up and you feel better. And maybe you can process through it like I just did and feel so much better. We all got to do that, or else you might not make it. But okay, I'm going to go. Thanks for the chat. I feel better. And think about it. Love you. Bye.